Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are back at the Black Woman Behold podcast. We are your hosts. I am Ednesha, there's Marquia and Kim, and we are Black women working on being whole. We are on episode 11, y'all, season 2. And we are back and we talking about anxiety today. And I'm pretty sure everyone who is out here listening can relate to anxiety in some type of way. Can y'all relate to anxiety a little bit, a lot of it? What?
Yep.
For real, for real.
Definitely.
So, of course, last month was BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month. So I thought, why not talk about anxiety? But before we get into that, of course, we always have to check in with the girls. So, ladies, what are y'all working on this week? Marquia, what you working on?
Just working on adjusting to changes in life and dealing with the summer being extremely hot this year. That's really where I'm focusing my energy right now, trying to stay cool. It's too hot outside.
You know it's hot when Black people, you know, we have a tropical people. We like, I ain't going out.
Yeah,
I'm
sun's
good.
too warm. It's too warm.
Overheated.
I'm gonna see you at 8 when the sun goes down. We can hang out then.
Or in the fall.
Or well, hold up. Did you
Damn.
just skip the whole summer? Is that what we did?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Got it. Kim, what you working on?
Oh, what am I working on? I'm working on my health again. Got all these damn doctor appointments. So it's back at it again, the yearly annual kind of check-in from all the shit from last year. So that's fun.
Right.
So I just gotta let it go.
Mm.
I'm outside during the day sweating my ass off. So I'm just like, Kim, let it go, let it go, let it go. But also I am focused on traveling because I'm out in these streets, y'all. Woo.
Okay.
Girl, going to Bermuda soon. I'll be out. I'm going. I can't stay home right now. I'm observing all of the things for COVID that I can possibly can do, but I need to get out because
We're gonna make sure we add that so people know.
hey, listen, I'm not out here being reckless, just touching shit and coughing on people. No. Got the mask, got the hand sanitizer, back up off me. So what about you, Ednesha?
I think we might be working on the same thing. I'm trying to be outside, y'all. Not even a little outside. Like literally my work days are ruthless at times. And I'm like, okay, it's time to break out. So I actually just came back from Colorado. I did a road trip through Colorado. That was a lot of fun. I'm in the midst of talking my business partner, Kim, and my husband into letting me go to Bali. Well, not letting me. However, working with me while I go to Bali for a month. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in Bali. I don't know. I think it just might be some self-care. I think it might be a bit of self-care. Like I just want to live by the water for a minute. Start thinking about my life, figuring out what's next.
Was Black Girl Beach Day the thing that triggered that for you?
Oh, well, we did go to Black Girl Beach Day, y'all. So Black Girl Beach Day was in Atlantic City. And can I tell y'all, it had to be at least 1,000 Black women and girls on the beach. It was amazing. However, it was hot like fire. Marquia, you would have been mad. It was 100 degrees. No bullshit, y'all. The sun was hot as hell. However, I did enjoy seeing all of the beautiful women, all the different shapes and sizes and tones and all of it, the different hair, everything. Some girls wear makeup on the beach. Some of them don't. Like some of them hair is done. Some of them is not. Like I loved it. It was like, take me as I am. And I think everybody accepted everybody. Kim and I went together and a couple other friends. What did you think, Kim?
I thought it was amazing. I'm not really a beach person per se. I mean, so for me, that was a really great experience. Listen, it was just, people were jumping double dutch. I don't know how they were doing that because it was hot as fuck.
The sand was burning.
Yoga, it's very earthy, very kind of like spiritual.
They were painting. It was like a little painting sip on the side. It was a little bit of everything for you. So I definitely had a good time. So I am working on traveling more and being outside in the evening. All right, y'all. So my thing. Y'all don't love it, but what's something that caught your attention this week? All right, y'all. Y'all got to give me something. Who got something that caught their attention this week?
I'm going to go.
All right, Kim, come on.
Girl, I don't know if y'all seen this thing making its way on social media about this damn pastor
Uh,
who got all these women bent over and he's spanking them for the congregation, talking about how to spank their butts. And these women are just bent over, heels on and short dresses. I'm like really disturbed by that. Like, is this what you doing in church? Women, are we like okay with this shit happening? I'm really not into these churchmen, TD Jakes, all y'all ninjas. Like, y'all really need to get this together because I'm not feeling what I'm seeing or hearing.
well, okay, we can't just throw TD out there. Everybody is not
He
taking
part of the
advantage of
problem
women.
too. He part of the
But
Everyone
problem
is
he
not
is
himself.
part of
taking
the
advantage.
He
problem.
part of the problem. Talking his shit. Talking shit.
Yeah. I guess that would be my, I guess to piggyback off, we're gonna go the church route. Sorry, churchy people, don't be too angry, but y'all be all right. The TD Jakes thing, his whole sermon about how women are not letting men be men and all this other bullshit. I think the issue is that men are choosing oftentimes not to evolve and believe that just by existing and having a penis, a woman should be excited about that. But unfortunately in 2022, honey, if I'm able to get my own house, if I'm able to buy my own things, what value add do you have other than your penis? And if you are causing stress in my life, why would I do this with a broke penis versus one that has money that can actually add value to my life? But men believe that they should just be able to exist and women should just want them because they are men. And unfortunately, they need to catch up with the evolution because it doesn't have to be that.
Okay. I'm through Marquia.
Okay, so since we are talking about pastors and religion, I'm gonna just go ahead and piggyback on that one more time. So, we're based in New York City, Kim and I. So there's a pastor in Brooklyn who was on live stream preaching and his church was robbed. Okay. So dudes came in, ski mask on, like four of them while they're live streaming, y'all. So whoever was at home watching saw all of it. Now, reports come out, he was robbed of $400,000 worth of jewelry. Okay, wait. The next report that came out, he was robbed of $1 million worth of jewelry. Slow down, stop the press, flag on the play. Why are you a pastor with $1 million worth of jewelry on you and your wife? Preaching? So he was like, there was one chain he had on that was above the robe, and then he had a bunch of other chains on under.
That
And
sounds like a motherfucker that like to do a getaway. He can pawn his jewelry, girl.
But wait, then I started looking, like, then, Black people start doing research. So online, they got him. He got like Maybachs, all types of beautiful cars. His wife got all the Fendi on. I mean, they stunting, y'all. Stunting. I'm like, okay, wait. So was this an insurance job? Like, or was it just a setup? Because you should not be the preacher and have all this money. And I'm pretty sure your congregation their lifestyle don't look nothing like your lifestyle. And then 2 days later, it came out that one of his congregants said that he robbed her of $90,000, which was her life savings. I can't, y'all. I'm gonna need the pastors to figure it out.
Yo, trash all around. Trash.
I mean, think about
Okay.
it. I mean, Creflo Dollar has a jet. I mean, like this is a thing, and like y'all are gonna be mad at me, and that's fine. But like organized religion is very problematic. It is because you have to also understand that like oftentimes people get in these roles and they see that there is an opportunity to take advantage of people. They are selling you a dream because you believe that you need this person to get to redemption and get to these things. And that's why that woman gave her $90,000 because this man promised her, like, I'm gonna get you redemption. I'm gonna pray for you. If you give to me, Jesus will give more to you. Now, I'm not saying that the Bible is a lie. I'm not saying Jesus is not real, but what I am saying is that a lot of people are putting energy and faith and trust in people, and people are flawed. So you have to also have a sense of discernment and just sense to not just give your money away to niggas that are out here. And then the way that he reacted on Instagram live, talking to that man who was a gay man and using all types of F words to describe him being gay, or calling the woman on the call who was plus size Biggie Smalls and all that. This is your pastor? This is a man of God? Like, y'all not vetting people? I'm confused.
Yeah, this shit is ghetto. Like for real, y'all. It's a little ghetto. So I think the thing that caught our attention this week was the damn pastors. I'm gonna need them to get their lives together. For real. Because let me tell you something, what they say, people take as fact and truth. And so, like, if you're going to have a congregation and you're going to have all of these people out here listening, pay attention to what you're saying and pay attention to how you presenting yourself to the world. Ain't no pastor out there should have $1 million worth of jewelry, him and his wife. And Creflo Dollar did not need no private jet. And I don't know if y'all knew that Creflo now is apologizing, saying that he shouldn't have had his congregation buy him that private jet.
He already
Really?
got it. So it
Really,
don't even
Creflo? Years
matter.
later, though, it's been at least 5 years or maybe more than that since all of that happened.
You apologize
Yeah.
after you fat. Give it back.
It's just the overarching issue of like, I mean, again, like you can be wealthy, like no one's saying like be in a servant role, right? A public servant role and not be able to provide for yourself. But there is a point when it gets to y'all being excessive and again, taking advantage of people and essentially robbing them under the guise of religion and faith and telling the person giving you the money that this is making them a better person, but then you are being a crook. So like, I don't know how that balance out. I don't know how that logically makes sense in their head.
I'm gonna say one more thing and I'm gonna let it go. But this pastor in Brooklyn, I don't remember him having any books written. I don't remember him doing any speaking engagements. How you getting all this money other than taking it from your congregation? Like literally. Do you have an entertainment company out here?
Girl,
like, do
he
you
got
have
that
other
PPP
things?
loan. He got that
I'm done.
PPP loan.
That PPP is gonna come get you. Seriously, it wasn't worth it, y'all, because they coming for y'all slowly but surely.
By hook or by crook, apparently.
Mm-hmm. More about crook.
Which is a good segue into today, anxiety, because I think that sometimes us like scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, it can be give you a bit of anxiety, like about really like what is going on in our world. All right, y'all.
I like
So we're gonna.
that. Good segue. Oh,
I mean, I really do. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So I guess we should define anxiety, right? Like, so we're just gonna go definition first, so everybody is on the same page. So anxiety is like a fear or dread and an uneasiness, right? So it can be intense, excessive, maybe give you a little bit of persistent worry and fear about just like everyday situations, right? So for some people, I've seen it, guys. It may cause you to sweat, feel restless. People get really tense. They have a rapid heart rate. Actually, all of those things I've experienced, but anxiety can always also be normal, y'all, in stressful situations, right? So like if you like have to publicly speak or take a test, but sometimes it can also be kind of an indicator of an underlying disease when it becomes maybe like excessive and consuming and it can interfere with your daily living. That's when you would probably be more or less diagnosed with like a generalized anxiety. And for the record, y'all, I am diagnosed with generalized anxiety. So me being on this podcast for a long time, that was very difficult for me. However, I kind of got through it. So as far as anxiety is concerned, there's like 5 major anxiety disorders. We're really not going to talk about all of them today, of course. We didn't want to make it too clinical. So like there is generalized anxiety, which I kind of defined earlier. There's like social anxiety, when you kind of have this like kind of overwhelming anxiety and like when you feel like super self-conscious in just like everyday situations, like public speaking, maybe talking to people, eating in front of people. So I have clients that just like being around other people makes them anxious. Okay. And then there's PTSD, there's OCD, and there are panic disorders. However, we're not going to really get into that today. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is that anxiety disorders are probably, well, not probably, it is the most common mental health disorder in the United States. And so if we're going to be talking about Black women, because that's what we focus on, the data shows that for Black women, anxiety is more chronic and the symptoms are more intense than like our white counterparts. And so when I was thinking about that, I think there's a couple of factors, right, that kind of plays into this. So the first one is like that strong Black woman trope. It kind of forces Black women into kind of these caregiver roles where we often shoulder the burden of others, but rarely share our own. Right. So again, we're not asking for help, but we're taking on everything. We're taking on the family and all of the issues that everybody else has, but we're not asking for help. And I also think that Black women are generally not allowed by society to be vulnerable. Like we're not really able to display too much emotion. When we do let our emotions show, it's often regarded as like a threat. So I think this is kind of where that angry Black woman trope comes from. for some of us, and especially these are things that I've heard in my sessions, that like anger or aggression kind of feels like a safer emotion to portray. Like, I feel like that's more familiar to Black women and to like society in general than like anxious Black girl, the depressed Black girl, or the traumatized Black girl. I think that feels kind of unknown and scary to people. And I don't know why, because we are all of those things. Let's be very clear. So like my question to everybody is, are we really out here showing anger or aggression instead of showing anxiety? And if we are, is it because we see anxiety as more of a weakness? And so that's why we don't show it. So I guess my first question to you guys is, when was your first experience with anxiety, and did you know what it was?
Well, I want to say I don't necessarily agree with like anger being the way that anxiety displays itself. I'm more of a I'm just not going to talk type of person. If I'm anxious, I don't really engage. I kind of withdraw, because for what? Like, no. I usually will be like, no, I need a minute. I can't do this. I have to walk away. So I'm more of an isolation person. Anger isn't really my default when it comes to anxiety. And then as far as anxiety, I just feel like, I don't know, it's always just there. You know, you exist in this world. I mean, right now, even like COVID, like going outside is very nerve-wracking because you don't know if you're going to get sick. You can go outside to the grocery store and it's like, okay, am I going to be all right? Traveling, right? Kim mentioned that she's going to go traveling and she has to take all these precautions. And there was a world where we didn't have to do that. And now it's just like every day, it's like, okay, am I going to get COVID? Now, like monkeypox is out here and it's like, okay, like what's going to happen? So, you know, it's just kind of a thing and you just kind of like, okay, what can I do? I think I'm more so just like, okay, well, this thing makes me anxious, so I just don't do it. But that's my take on that. What do you think, Kim?
Well, no, I wanted to ask Marquia, do you remember your first experience with anxiety? Like, can you remember that? No. Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm. Like I said, I think it's always just there, but I think it's more heightened now in 2022 with the world being a cluster.
Kim, can you remember when was your first experience with anxiety? Or like, did you know what it was? Like, what did it look like?
I would say not really either. I mean, if it was, it would have been something like really young. So probably. Oh, I do have a story though. So I think maybe I don't remember. It wasn't my first one because if we're talking about children having anxiety, you can have anxiety as young as like 3 or 4. So right, just in terms of
Of course, and
yelling
maybe not have no
people.
idea what it
Right.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, when I was 8 years old, growing up in the 80s, you got to walk to school by yourself. There was this story on television about this man called the Hammer Man, and he was
Okay.
going around hitting people in the head with hammers. I'm 8 years old. I am walking to school by myself. I remembered like that feeling of like the hammerman is going to come and get me while I'm walking to school. Like I hated walking to school by myself. I was so fearful. Like I would just have nightmares about the hammerman hitting me in my head because the stories were everywhere and people were talking about it. So I was like, I've got to protect myself. So I took like a switchblade out of the
Oh,
house and I
and
brought
how
it
old were
to
you?
school. I was 8. I brought it
Damn.
to school with me. And I showed my friend, I was like, and if the hammerman comes and get us, like, I got it covered. Like, that's it. And she told on me. This fucking little bitch told on me. I'm trying to protect you and us. We've been talking about the hammerman coming to get us, and I got suspended from school, but my mother wasn't like mad. She was like, you were doing a reaction that you've been raised to do, which is to take care of yourself. True. So, but I do
Wow.
remember like all of that, like it like my stomach constantly fearful, like not wanting to go anywhere, like impacting your life kind of thing, because that's what anxiety does. And just like imagining, you know, things happening before or forecasting kind of like the him hitting me in my head. So that's a very formative thing just because it was a big deal because I got suspended and a bunch of other things, but I didn't get in trouble at home.
Are you
So
still friends with that little girl?
I don't remember her, but
Great.
I'm pretty sure I'm not. Because I was
Great.
like, not you fucking telling on
Ungrateful
me
wench.
while I'm trying to protect the both of us, girl. Like,
I
what?
think it's interesting because like this is an everyday occurrence. You got to go to school, right? Like you can't get around it. So now I have to expect to have this feeling like every
Right,
day, and there's
right,
nothing that I can do.
right.
And I think that makes it hard when you're a kid. And I don't know if when you're a kid, do you actually talk about it with your parent? And do they actually get it?
No.
Or they just kind of push you to the side and be like,
Yes.
girl, if you don't go to school,
Yeah,
and that's the end of
exactly.
it.
Because it's like, why are you worried about that? Well, because I'm watching the same damn news channel you watching. I'm just reacting to it differently. And it's daytime when I go to school near the
Yeah.
pizza shop. Come on.
Where he could have got you with the hammer, child.
Exactly. Like you think I don't want to be bobbed upside my head with a hammer.
I think it's interesting because when you're a kid, especially as a Black kid, sometimes, now this is not all Black parents. Let me be clear about that, y'all. But a lot of times we weren't heard. Like they didn't listen to us. So, right, like if we had anxiety, it was like I had to deal with that shit on my own. Nobody was working through it with me. It was like I said what I said and go do what I said. I told you to do. And that's it.
But I think that that's just also like cyclical, right? Like that's what their experience was. Like my mom didn't listen to me, so why should I listen to you? Because now I'm the adult. Pardon the person driving by in my background. But like, parents I don't think they knew how to listen. Now, like, my generation, a lot of them are like soft parenting and doing all of that, but that comes with its own challenges. But I think that, it's not that they didn't want to listen. They just were like, nigga, for what? I'm the adult now. I don't have to, I'm paying it
Yeah.
forward.
I think it's funny because I probably was around the same age as you, Kim. And we were living with my grandma, my mom, we were all living with my grandma. And supposedly in that apartment that we lived in, that there was a ghost. And like this ghost would walk down the hallway. And so it was right off the bedroom that I stayed in. And so like I was so scared, y'all, of this ghost. So at night, you couldn't pay me to open the door. I was not going, but I had to open that door to go to the bathroom. But supposedly she would only walk down that hallway that led to the kitchen because the kitchen was next to the bathroom, which was next to my room. And I was just as scared as I wanted to be. And for whatever reason, my mom kept thinking it was okay to keep telling the story about the lady with no head walking down the hallway. And I must have been the most anxious kid ever when it came to that certain situation. So then that made me scared of the dark. And I'm gonna tell y'all now, I just stopped being scared of the dark like a year ago. Like I think that people don't understand how these things stay with you. And that's anxiety around like ghosts in the dark and seeing things at night. It's been with me ever since. I can't let it go.
That's that city shit too though.
Parents are bright people because they know how to get you not to do some shit you're not supposed to do. Because I bet you weren't just in the hallway in the middle of the night.
But girl, I gotta go to the bathroom, mom. Like that's important.
She said you'll figure it out, but I bet you won't be in that hallway when you're not supposed to be.
But then if I would have peed in the bed, I'd have got in trouble. I'm gonna need them to think through this stuff. That's all I'm saying.
It's hard being a kid. You like, damn. Or a young person.
I didn't know that was anxiety. I had no idea. So I think some people also think as anxiety as a weakness, almost like get over it, push through, work through it. How do you handle it when it comes up? Like, what does it look like in your life now if you deal with anxiety?
I walk away. That's the answer. I'm very serious about that. I don't, because to the point, right? Like you tell people that you're feeling anxious. Oh, well, why? Just get over it. Or why? Like I'm not explaining to you that I'm upset. I said I'm upset. That should be the end of the conversation. Now you want me to go into it. If I explain it, then it's like, oh, well, everyone, I don't want to hear it. So you have fun. I'll be in my house and leave me alone. I don't think it's a weakness. I think it's just a matter of people. I don't think it's a weakness anymore, I should say. I think that we're programmed to believe if you have any mental health struggle, that there is something wrong with you and that you just need to work through it and you shouldn't tell people because especially in Black households, it's you don't tell people your business. Everyone doesn't need to know what's going on. You don't want people thinking you're crazy. But it's not that, and luckily like the climate is changing, but it is still a thing. Like that's a level of being vulnerable and having to share your business with people, and you don't always know what people are going to do with that information. So I get why people don't share it or see it as a weakness, but again, as to how me and myself deal with it, I'm not engaging, and I'll catch you when I feel better.
I agree with you, Marquia, a little bit about it not being seen as a weakness anymore, but I do think that people are scared to talk about it because it shows vulnerability. And, we hate to show that to people. And sometimes we don't even know what it is or how to name it. I don't think a lot of people are doing that work to be able to name those things. I mean, there's still a stigma about mental health in our community. So, there's a large swath of people who really don't know that how it shows up, or like when they self-medicate, it's because they're anxious or something, it calms them down. Or when they're, whatever they do, to
Shout
help
out to
them.
edibles.
Right?
I listen, I hear that from a lot of weed smokers. I hear that there's other weed smokers who don't say it, but
Right.
being around them, I realize that's what it is.
When they say it
Like,
calms them down, you like,
that's
you
what
got
you mean.
anxiety.
Like you have
Right.
anxiety.
Right.
And sometimes it be social anxiety.
Right.
Yeah, people will go drink something, or they'll go smoke something because they know they have to go speak or whatever it is, or interact with people. Like there is a real struggle around it for whatever reason. And sometimes like we have these unwarranted thoughts that we ain't asked for, but they just be really in our head. And it really makes us like afraid of things that you would think that like I shouldn't be afraid of, but I am. I definitely don't think that it's a weakness, but I do think that I felt like if it was a weakness before. Like I have anxiety about the dumbest things. Like I'm anxious about reading my emails. Because in my email, it's generally going to tell me something I have to do that I may not want to do or I may not feel like doing. So I have some real anxiety. It was like for like 2 or 3 months, I just had so much anxiety about reading emails. Like I would not read my emails. It was the craziest thing. I'm not sure what I thought I was going to see, but it felt like either it was going to tell me I did something wrong, I didn't do something, or I had to do something. And I didn't feel comfortable telling people that because it feels like one of those moments like, well, what's wrong with you? Like, just do it. Like, just open it. What's the worst thing? Because people don't really understand your irrational thoughts. Only, they're just like, go do it. So I know earlier, like we talked about Black women's anxiety and how it can look different. Kim, when you're anxious, what does it look like? I think Marquia told us a little bit, but I'll see if you want to add a little bit more to that, Marquia. What does your anxiety look like, Kim? What are the things you're anxious about, girl?
I'm anxious about people not responding to things. So that's why my calendar and time. I'm anxious about time and about being in places and about being late and on time and about getting things done and about all the things that I have to get done. And then, in my head, I'm planning things and then people don't adhere to the timeline and then they fuck it all up. And then there's a domino effect in every other aspect of my life. So it's like, wow, look at this.
And now I'm spiraling.
Yeah. It's
By
like,
no fault
what?
of my own.
Let me go fucking do this myself. I can't be bothered. Gotta go. So that's when I get like very like, you know what? I'm good. I get short. My tone. We know about my tone. I default to anger. So Marquia, you isolate. I'm like, nah, bitch, gotta go nuclear right now. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this shit no more. Cause it's like, I have all the patience in the world, and then it's like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't have patience anymore. Like, I'm done. Cause like I done did this too much, too softly and kindly, and it wasn't respected. So that's it. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. It looks like, okay, I get very like, I know I call Ednesha Karen sometimes about stuff. She's a Karenisha. But I can get very like particular, like I can read you in professional, I can read you in lavender. Very like, no, you didn't. Because now I have to tell you about yourself. And here's all the receipts, bitch. Take that.
But when I do it, I'm called a Karen. Let's be clear. All right. I have an expectation of a certain level of service and things of that nature as my white counterparts. So when I don't get it, oh, y'all gonna know. And so that's why she calls me a white Karen. But I only don't get it because I'm like, I know this is some race shit, like seriously. Or if we go to a resort to work in Mexico and the Wi-Fi not working, I have a problem. Yes. People come here to work. Y'all Wi-Fi should be working. Y'all need to figure something out for me. And so that's when she called me a Karen for the first time.
I mean, if you said it like that, I see how we landed on Karen. But I think that there's a way to do it. And like also, I don't know. I guess my relationship with anxiety is just different. I've worked in service industries and things like that. So again, it's just like you shut down and just like deal with people that are talking to you crazy. But when I have those situations, I'm usually like, hey, no, you have 1,000 other things going on. This is not ideal for me. I understand this may not be a priority for you. However, would love it if you could put some pep in your step and make this happen. Now, after that point, if they're not helpful, then we might have to amp it up. But out the gate, I don't know. But maybe that's your anxiety showing out, right? Because you need to get work done and the Wi-Fi is not working and this is causing you stress and you don't know how to say, hey, front desk person, this is stressful. Can you help me?
Yeah, nah, fuck that shit. No, no, no.
Mm,
It probably is my anxiety, of course, because yeah, I came there to get work done, and it was like a day, half the day, Kim and I got no work done.
but maybe the
And
sign was for you to take a rest. Maybe it was the universe being like, okay, maybe you need a moment.
I have a hard time taking a rest and taking the moment. And maybe that has a lot to do with the strong Black woman thing that I've been hearing all my life. I'm trying to let go. However, I'm like, I'm here to do something. I have to get it done. Like, there's no way around it. And yes, it becomes really anxiety inducing because I know once I get home, I go back to my second job as a therapist, right? And I don't have as much time for Black Women Be Whole. So I'm here to just focus on that. It needs to get done. Right. And so that's my anxiety speaking. Yeah, it definitely is my anxiety speaking. Because I'm
Maybe you need
thinking
to
about
pair
all
up
the
with
other shit that I gotta
maybe
do.
maybe you need to work with our calendar queen on allotting time for yourself to be able to balance it better. I'm sure she has tons of professional development tools that you can work together on. Is that
She's
fair
the
to assume, Kim?
queen of developed professional development tools.
Ooh, Kim, are you on mute?
I am, and now I'm off trying to
Okay.
find this damn floating button. You know what, Zoom? We're gonna have a problem
I'm
today.
sorry, y'all. We gonna get it together. We try. Listen, technical difficulties. We are still in the pandemic. We are not taping together. We are all in different spaces, trying to make it work on Zoom.
Hey, Zoom. Yeah, I think, listen, we all have anxiety. It shows up in different ways. Sometimes we shut down. There are moments when I shut down because maybe I don't feel like I can say something to somebody. And I'm like, damn, the way I want to say it is really going to be hurtful. Like, I
Mm.
know that. And so that's when I have to shut down. Like, girl, just don't say nothing because you don't got, like, that's not even going to be healthy. And you know that. Like, there are moments of lucidity where it's like, don't do that. Don't say that. Even though that's what you want to say. Like, and it's just like sometimes my anxiety likes to rage the fuck out. Like,
Mm.
and that's just probably because I bottle up a lot of emotions and stuff, right? I don't do a lot of emoting. I'm
Oh,
mostly like,
I cry like every day.
oh damn, girl. I can't
Yeah.
say the last time I cried was in South Carolina when I got pulled over by the cops.
Wait, what?
That's it.
What happened then?
Girl,
You don't
I
want to
was
know
in
the
South
story.
Carolina. I was out with this dude partying and we got pulled over and I don't know where the hell we was, but I know I felt danger. It was giving missing persons and it was giving
It was given
yeah,
prom
it's
for a hate
sundown
crime.
city. It was
Oh
giving sundown
no.
town. I was like, they arrested him and I was like, I'm stranded. And I just
And
was like,
she called me, and I don't think I've ever heard Kim cry in all the 27 years we've been friends. I said, Aldrin, mute the TV. Something wrong. It was like midnight, 1 in the morning. I was like, what's wrong? I had to talk her through it. But I think it really showed in that moment how, as a Black person, as a Black woman, how fearful we can be of the police. Like, we don't feel safe. Like, she was on some dirt road in South Carolina and she felt more unsafe than she probably ever have in her whole life.
right,
And it really showed up. And
right.
I was like, wow.
Right. So, I've got, if people have been listening, they know that we've had upbringings that are reflective of things. So it does take a lot for me to like have anxiety or to cry or to
Mm.
feel like, okay, I can't do something,
Mm.
so um and that's okay because I would actually rather be this than be filled with anxiety every day because when I do feel those moments it's very debilitating and I can't get shit done and I'm just stuck. So I would actually rather have it come sporadically than be with me all the time because I wouldn't
Mm.
be able to do half of the things that I do, I think, if I felt that way. So my sisters who go through this, I love y'all. Let's figure out some things for us to recognize our greatness, because that's holding us back. Whatever voice that is that's in your head, get it out. We don't need that. It's not serving us.
I think it gets hard when it becomes all consuming and it really interferes with like just daily shit, like regular day-to-day stuff. And I am diagnosed with anxiety, so I don't let it interfere too much, but I think it makes me procrastinate. I think that's kind of how it shows up for me, is procrastination. Like I'll wait to the bitter end, which is evident in some of the work that I do with you ladies, that I'll wait to the bitter end to do something because my anxiety is either like out off the charts that day about something maybe that has not anything to do with this, or I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna write, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I don't know what I'm gonna say, and it just takes me longer to get it done. So yeah, it paralyzes me and it makes me procrastinate.
But I think that there's something, as a person that also has anxiety, to at least looking at it from a pace of, okay, this is due this day. This is causing me stress, even though this due date is happening. But if I do a little bit each day, or if I try to do it this way, then it'll be better. Because if I wait till the last minute, then I'm going to be in the space where I'm like extremely overwhelmed. Like, I cannot do this. And then I have to let someone down. So for me, I choose to avoid the added anxiety of having to tell someone that something is not done, by just trying to like tackle it in pieces and just kind of like, okay, even though this may take me a 30-minute task, if I look at it on Monday and I'm like, I'm overwhelmed, at least like I know like I have these however many more days to get it done. And if I do this amount each day, it's still going to suck, but at least it'll be done and it won't be, oh my God, I have 15 minutes to get this done and I have like 17 things to do, and how am I going to do it? And now I'm having a meltdown and now I'm just like, I just didn't get done. Like,
Well, let me say, there used to be the person that I used to be was that like I just worked well under pressure, right? And that was the time that I got a lot of stuff done. And I think the newer me just be like, fuck it, I'm just not doing it. And that's very new for me. Like I would never do anything like that. Now, if something causes me stress, I'm just like, I'm just not gonna do it. Like, okay, I'll do it another time. And yes, it may cause even more stress the fact that I didn't do it. But in that moment, I felt better. So yeah. And maybe my other question to y'all was going to be about the strong Black woman trope. Like, has it stopped you from asking for help or taking a break or taking on too much? Or taking on too much, yeah. But I'm thinking that I'm really tired of that strong Black woman trope. And I think that in those moments when I'm like, I ain't doing shit, it's just because like I got too much to do. So like, I'm just not gonna do something. I'm gonna just take a break. Or I'm just, yeah, or I'm gonna ask for help. There's been times I've had to call Kim and be like, Kim, I need help. She just told me, don't call me 10 minutes before the thing is due. Tell me the day before. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Are y'all starting to ask for more help? Are y'all starting to take breaks and take naps and rest and things like that, and kind of changing up this whole strong Black woman trope, which we know that has gotten us nowhere, but more anxious?
yeah, I'm definitely a fan of clearly communicating what I can and cannot do. Currently with my new role, like, I struggle with asking for help, but I'm also transparent with my supervisor of like, I didn't know how to do this thing. It made me feel X or Y because I didn't know how to do it. And she's been really good at being like, but you just started. It's still new. It's okay. Like, no one thinks you're dumb. So she's fine with that. And again, I'm always a big fan of the word no. So if it's something I don't have capacity for, if I'm not interested in it, if I don't like the people involved, I'm not going to do it, because I'm not going to put myself in a continual position to be uncomfortable and be stressed out behind some shit that I don't want to do, or for some people I don't fucking like. Like, I'm not going to do that.
I love that. I can't wait till I get to that stage of things. Um, because there are spaces where, I mean, people don't feel like they can say no because they have to, because it's part of things that they're obligated to do, and they may not have the I don't want to say backbone, but just kind of feel like they have the agency to do that. There's some spaces where I feel that way, so I take on things. And oddly enough, it's sometimes family and friends. It's like, really? Y'all want that? Okay. All right.
But
Not
they know that they can
necessarily
take
work.
advantage of you and do
Right.
that. They know that you'll say yes. That's why you have to tell niggas no. Hit them
Right.
with the boom. Actually, no.
The boom.
Boom.
Yes, Marquia. You like, let me help you with that. Okay. Right. It's just it's that whole thing. Like, and I do believe, like, there's always this thing, family first, no matter what, do whatever, like living into that sometimes can be detrimental to your mental and emotional well-being. Cause if you come from a big family, it's a lot of motherfuckers who got a lot of different needs and who's always showing up with some shit. And you're like, wow, okay, this is going on now. That's cool. Sure. And so, it always feels like there's always something going on. So I think, you know, like, for instance, like me going to take care of my aunt, everyone's like, you did a great thing for your family. Like, my aunt was like, I'm so glad you did that for my sister. Like, you can always be counted on to do things for the family and show up. I was
Like
like,
me, really?
No,
damn,
stop doing that
Slow
shit.
auntie.
down, slow down. That don't mean all that.
Damn, auntie.
Mm-mm.
They made that
So
shit bigger than it had to be.
yeah, I was like, I just showed up and I worked there. Like, I'm good. Like, I just,
It's
but
giving setup, Kim. Be careful.
I
It's giving
know.
somebody about to turn around and be like, actually, Kim, I'm
Can
having
you
surgery
come
next
back?
week and I need you to do this for me. And you were
Girl,
so great with your aunt.
girl, what you
And like,
doing?
what are you gonna do? Are you gonna say no?
I haven't been asked anything. I
It's
can't. I've got
given
stuff
that's your
going
new
on.
role as the savior and the
Mm-hmm.
girl who look, they like she can travel. Like Kim
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be in her office. So if we
Right.
need her, she can show up.
Right. That's like you being a therapist. Everybody need therapy. If you a lawyer or a therapist and shit,
Mm-hmm.
you getting
Right.
work.
Accountant. Everybody's like, oh, so you can help me, right? Listen, people always be asking me, like, are you I'm not thinking about you. We had a party. I'm not caring what you thinking. Ain't nobody reading your mind. Listen, and let me just tell a quick funny story real quick. We got to wrap up soon. I know that. Um, One of my friends is a DJ. He actually DJ'd our brunch. Totally love him. Danny D, love you. You out there. So one day I'm home, y'all. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night. I'm just like chilling after working all day. Danny hits me up on Instagram. He DMs me like, what's up? Like, what's up? He's like, can we talk? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He was like, do you have a moment to talk like right now? I'm like, yeah, okay. He calls me. He's DJing a party, y'all. I guess somebody else was like on in the DJ booth and he was like off to the side. Some girl at the party was crying. He was like, she needs a therapist. This motherfucker put her on the phone with me at the party. I was like, what just happened? Did he just say she needed a therapist, so I called you? But you ain't tell me none of that shit before I called. I thought you just wanted to kick it. I was like, I'm done. He was like, I really want you to see her. Hold on. How did this just turn into me trying to be this girl therapist in the middle of the party? Because she was crying. But this is the type of shit that people do. Because I'm a therapist. I just wanted to put that out there.
Mm.
It's
Oh,
wild. It's wild. You're like, wait, what? And people, and because I had like, hey, Woody, somebody, can you talk to these two people? They asked, and I don't know. You get asked a lot of very random, like, can you just talk to somebody? You doing off the books work right now.
and it makes me think about like if we look at kind of all the roles that we play, how does that impact our anxiety? Right.
Nope.
Because I think now if he calls me again, I might be, or he asks to talk to me, I'm gonna be anxious about saying, yeah, y'all. Because now I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But like when I look at like all of my roles, like daughter, sister, auntie, wife, friend, you know what I mean? Therapist, all of it. It's just like shit. It just feels like all of these people want or need a piece of me. And that is anxiety inducing because at any given time, like I don't know what the phone call gonna be. Cause somebody gonna want something because of all the roles that I play. And similar to you, Kim, if you do a great job, oh man, now they want you even more. So I think that like for all the listeners out there, you got to think about all the roles that you play and what roles you play in people's lives and how that impacts your anxiety and figuring out like, what do I need to change?
You can
That's
always not answer the phone and just wait till they leave a voicemail and get back to them if you feel like it.
I don't even think people leave voicemails no more.
they
I don't know about
don't.
you. I don't.
Then guess you don't want anything. If you
I
don't,
text.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't get an answer and you text me, that's fine. But if you call and don't say any type of message, then you ain't wanting it that bad. Bye.
Maybe it's about teaching people better etiquette or how to interact with you. Let's start a
Course.
movement, y'all, right here, right now. If you know that somebody calls you, like I have a friend who calls me numerous times when they don't get me, it's like, yo, just leave me a message. I'm at work, I'm on a meeting or a call. I really am busy, or I just don't want to talk to you right now because I have to really just give my energy and time, and I have to focus because there's always so much going on. People don't know what you're doing on the other end. You could also be having a meltdown and you don't want to be bothered with anybody. Like, hey, don't call me back to back and not leave a message, or just text me
Or
and
send a
say,
text.
hey,
Yeah.
can you talk at 3 o'clock? I really do like people who say, could you talk at some point in time today? Because now we've both cleared our schedule and you not interrupting my day. That's why don't answer a lot of calls, because I'm busy. Like, I'm at work and I'm doing stuff. I can't talk to you. When Anisha's on her session, you send that message real quick. Can't talk right now. That's it. Okay, I know that means you're in session or you want to call. Like, it's a rhythm. I don't bother you. I'll text you, say, hey, I just wanted to say this to this. And so that at least you know.
People get that one and still hit me again. I'm like, y'all know what I do for a living though. Like, what you thinking? What you think the reason is why I can't talk to you right now? I don't know. But I think it's about boundaries, right? Like us having boundaries and establishing them with other people and helping people understand that it's not personal, right? Like I'm not just doing it to you. These are my boundaries that I have to establish with all the people in my life and respect them.
And yes, Miss Marquia, you added a new role to your life. I love it. I mean, do all of your roles impact your anxiety in some sort of way? Or are you good at compartmentalizing and keeping the riffraff where they belong and the
Um,
everyone else?
I mean, I cry every day. I told you that. That's a real thing. So,
I guess not.
But it is what it is. I mean, I just don't believe in broadcasting it. One, because most people don't care. I mean, like, right? So, like, as much as people want you to be like, oh, you can tell me, no, like, most people don't care. And again, you never know what people are going to do with that information. But that being said, I present how I need to present in moments that I need to. And I can do that, but I also acknowledge, like, if I don't want to be bothered, then I choose not to be. Like, that's just a thing. The isolation thing is very, very real. And it's because other people are variables that are not controllable, right? They are free radicals. They are things that just can be very volatile. It's just not, you never know what you're going to get. So in order to be prepared for when those situations occur, I just have to reserve my energy for when I'm like, oh, I must go out and do this thing today. So I have enough energy saved up to be bothered.
Sometimes it be's like that. And you
That's
gotta,
right.
protect yourself and your energy because people will drain you.
Absolutely, which is why I told you, do not go back when they call you talking about someone that's having surgery and we need you to go on the next flight. And you're gonna be like, oh, okay, what? No, don't let people use you up.
No, that just increases the anxiety right there. So my last question, I think that this one is, I think it's an easy question, but how does living in America impact your anxiety as a Black woman? Straight up, America is ghetto. So like, go for it, y'all.
America's a hot mess. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, we made it out of Donald Trump, but then like the gas price, well, quote unquote, out of, it's still existing. Tons of Netflix documentaries about the everlasting effects of what we've lived through. Um, and yeah, the country is just, it's just very unpredictable. You turn on the news and you just don't know what's gonna happen. But again, maybe I don't know. I just am like always like, it's gonna be a shit show. So how shitty is the shit going to be today? That's kind of how I maneuver through America and know that I'm never going to move out of a blue state because at
Oh
least it's a
shit.
little safer here. Not much, but at least they pretend like they are for diversity and shit here.
It's interesting because I've literally stopped watching the news because it provides way too much. Because I get riled up about everything, and then it's like, where does this anger go? Nowhere. Because fucking people are back to being busy with their lives and not collectively trying to change shit. So I've got to manage my shit that way. Um, it's yeah, like Marquia said, it's a dumpster fire. I think it's getting worse. I think when I look at, what's happening on the streets, when I think about like going outside, like I get very nervous thinking about just going to big crowds and like, oh, is there an active shooter here? Like looking at exits and shit, bitch. I'd be like, exit over here, and over there. Where's the exit strategy? Like you have to start building things in now. It's really wild. It feels very tactical to go somewhere. So um, and then I have to sort of like push that away because I will, drive myself mad thinking like that. But in the back of my mind is always like, okay, Kim, there's an exit behind you to your left. Okay, good. Got it. Um, just all of the things going on. It's like watching, an apocalyptic fucking dystopian story. And it's like, when is it going to end? Where is the rapture? Come
Mhm.
through for real. And so I think you worry about the future, right? Like I have a
Mhm.
lot of anxiety around it, like, okay, am I gonna live to be a certain age? Because who knows what the hell happens? Or I step out, or I go to the when I'm going to the train station, cops give me lots of anxiety. Large groups of men give me anxiety late at night,
Mm.
that kind of thing. They're interactions of sort that give me anxiety. Um, And so you just have to push through it, right? Because that's your brain telling you, oh, there's possibly something here because of nothing I've experienced per se, but because of what I've seen the impact of others experiencing. And so I try to balance that because is that fair to another human being, right? To feel that way about them because that's how other people feel about Black people. So trying to like just manage that in a way.
America just lacks consistency in so many ways. And so because of that, I just don't know what I'm gonna read, what I'm gonna see on TV, and what's gonna happen to me again when I walk out the house. So just trying to control whatever it is I can control. And then, as a therapist, I'm noticing more and more mentally ill people who are homeless, especially in New York City. And it can be really scary because you don't know what's going to happen. One of our girlfriends was just like attacked just recently by a homeless person. And so just not knowing what to expect. Who would have thought Roe v. Wade would be overturned? Nobody, right? Like, so all of these things that you don't expect to happen is happening in the United States, right? Like, it feels like this is not per se the 60s for people of color. However, it is leaning towards feeling like that. We just have more rights, but just the way that people talk and treat each other. So yeah, living in America is ghetto. And I think that's probably my push to go to Bali for a month to see if I am fit to live somewhere else because I often think I'm just too damn Americanized to live other places. So
Oh, you trying to
we'll
do a
see.
black sit, girl? What?
I mean, I it's a thing. So it's time for us to wrap this up. Let's give our listeners some takeaways for whoever deals with anxiety, maybe a couple of ways to help. And I think I'll start out. Please, please, please do not try to do everything at once. Like set small targets that you can kind of achieve easily. Cause I think that when we have too many things that we're trying to do and when we don't get them done, it causes like a lot of worry and a lot of anxiety. And please don't focus on the things that you can't change, which I was just talking about. Like, I just have to focus my time and my energy on things that like I can change that kind of help me feel a little bit better, I would say. Yeah, focus your time and energy on that, guys. What do you got, Kim? You got any tips, takeaways?
Yeah. I talked about it earlier. So try not to use alcohol, cigarettes, gambling, drugs, or sex to relieve anxiety, as these can all contribute to poor mental health. I would also like to add emotional shopping because lots of
Ooh.
Amazon got a lot of money out of a lot of motherfuckers because of anxiety. A lot of shopping, Shein, Shine, whatever you call it, all those stores, they was getting at work. Shipping prices were that's why shipping so damn high. I believe that, all the things that the escapism
Mm,
that we escape to in order for us to not do the work or to like just sit in it, right?
not to feel our
So
feelings, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I'll
I
leave it
like
at
that one.
that.
You got anything,
I
Marquia?
definitely think for me, one of the things that's helpful is like when I'm really anxious is like taking inventory of what I need in this moment.
Okay.
So, am I okay? Do you have this? Like, what does okay look like? What is causing the stress? What can you do to change it? If it's nothing that's an immediate fix, okay, what can we focus on in this moment to help us feel better about it? So I think doing those self checks, which are really underrated, are really, really helpful, because it kind of keeps you focused in the present. Because they do say that, you know, like depression is a result of focusing on the past, and anxiety is a result of focusing on the future. So if you focus on what you have in the moment right now, you should be able to kind of manage it better. I mean, it's not foolproof. Like sometimes it doesn't work, but I think if you just try to keep mindful, like, okay, in this moment, am I okay? In this moment, like, am I really worried about something that needs to be done right this second? Okay, how can I form a plan to tackle it? I think will be really helpful.
All right.
Love that. Be present.
Listen, that's all. We got to try our best to be present. So many reasons to escape, but like maybe we should try and build a life that we don't have to escape from. Maybe that's the goal.
Mm, love it. Marquia, take us out.
Take us out.
Thank you, as always, for listening to the Black Women Be Whole podcast. If you don't follow us already on social media, that's a little concerning because how did you find us? But if you're not following us, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, at Black Women Be Whole. You can head to our website, blackwomenbewhole.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can purchase a playbook. You can also buy some merch still, I believe. Is that correct, Kim?
It's all you know. They
Okay,
can
cool.
do it.
But yeah, go and do those things. And if you are just listening to our podcast, welcome. And hopefully you'll go back and listen to some other episodes. And we will catch you on the next one. Have a good day, y'all, or night, whenever you listen to this. Bye.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.